Fucking Sony. Fuck you, Sony, you fucking cunts. Although in fairness, I like you more than I like EA. Welcome to it. As of this moment, there's another version of this. Same thing. With a slightly different thing that goes under the description. Well, no. A totally different description, right? So, I don't know. There's the title, whatever there's a thing at the top, and that's the thing, and then there's a thing below that. Whatever the thing below that is, slightly different at least. And that's 40 minutes of me rambling. If you'd like some personal views on Christopher and Jonathan Nolan and their careers and stuff like that, and like very little about video games or anything like that, feel free. Yeah, and then I just did like another hour real quick in like 5 seconds in my head of like whether I feel like trying to remember why I even got into that and if I wanted to talk about any of that here at all. Let's go with no. Let's go with no. Safe bet, right? So, this is NHL19. Welcome to it. If you're watching the replay on the fake YouTube channel, I don't know why you guys are doing that. And guys it's non-binary. It's not a gender thing. It's just a term. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's a big tent under that term for me at least. So, yeah, some folks I guess are watching these things on replay on YouTube and not commenting. And the numbers are pretty like the average, like meaning like the same each time. Like it's almost exactly 3 or 4 every time. It's weird. It's really it's weird. Like I'm a weird dude. Most of what I've said, if I ever have the mic in, which is the long ones generally, is weird. But you're basically a peeping Tom. If you're just chilling, watching on the side, and you watch the whole thing regularly, and never even like accidentally butt dial the comments, that's way more weird. Way more weird. I don't do stuff like that, and I'm like one of the weirdest people in the world. Certified so. Like I got the papers to prove it. If you like, I could show you. I don't have the long form, unfortunately, so I can't be president, but I've got the papers. So, yeah, so there's nothing new. I believe that was in the title of this. There's nothing new for today's server reset, which is now almost 2 hours ago. But there was stuff new yesterday, and I was busy yesterday, which go figure. Weekdays you got usually at best or at worst, depending on how you look at it, like about a 20% shot. I'd say less than that really though. 1 in 5 shot that it'll be a day in which I'll be busy, especially because a lot of times in which currently, like in the last few months even, that I like would be busy on one of those 5 days, I'll usually be winded down by the time the reset happens because, spoiler alert, I think I pointed this out, I don't live on the Pacific coast, so it's not actually 2 p.m. for me. I'll leave you with trying to guess of whether it's 4 or 5, or whether I happen to be one of those weird fucking Canadians that lives further east than the Eastern time zone off in my own little island that doesn't exist on the maps that we have here in the United States. So I'm not believing you that you're a real person, that you live in a real place. So yeah, I'm probably not in that category. So it's either 4 or 5 for me, PM. So it's end of fucking day. So most of the time my shit's done by the time stuff could happen. And yet I missed yesterday. I just missed yesterday. Is just what I'll leave that as. I think so. I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I've done broadcasts since then, but I don't think I talked about anything new. Maybe I did. I don't think so, because I definitely feel like I would have said something about the weird 97 overall free agency Wayne Gretzky card. I mean, come on. August, August 9th, because that was yesterday, right? So, I mean, August 9th. So I'd have to, it's not just calendars, because it's, different calendars have different number of days, etc., etc. So, was it, was it 11/12ths of 365 days worth since since folks like me had their first shot at being able to play? And I don't mean for 10 hours before everyone else gets a chance, like 3 days in advance. I mean like a full 3 days in advance, because you got the pre-order. That was 9/11 of last year, of 2018. So it definitely feels like almost exactly 11 months since that happened. and, and like the best card from the release, I think, if I saw that correctly, or maybe that was the one from like the release before that, which might have been the day before, 2 days before that, was a 97 Gretzky. And I don't know. I guess I could try to go in and look and see if like the synergies are that much better or whatever the fuck. But I mean, dude, the card that was available on day one, which none of you got on day one unless you cheated or just straight up coined, and that is expensive coining. And the the places that I know that sell don't have no interest in giving out millions of coins on day one to the same person, or same account or whatever. So, gosh, I mean, like, I, and you can, I mean, like, I'm trying to think that through. Like, best case scenario there is you bought, I guess you could buy from more than one different coin seller. That works, but still. So you're buying from more than one coin seller, and then you're buying from at least one coin seller under multiple accounts. So then you effectively pay them the auction house transaction fee of 5%. So you buy a million coins, you actually receive 950k coins, and you have to give something up, and that could be like a in this game, I'd say probably, I would guess, like at least like a gold common, but probably more like a gold rare. Um, but nothing in this game, and please don't change this, EA, because it's fucking terrible on FIFA when you do. But nothing in this game has a what we refer to in economics as a price ceiling. So there are no hard stop upper limits for what you can sell literally anything for, other than the overall game upper limit, which I believe is and has been all year 10 million coins. And yes, at least one person paid 10 million coins for the card that I'm talking about, the day one Gretzky gold 99s across the board. I don't think they paid 10 million on day one, but one person paid 10 million for that, and another person paid 10 million for a McDavid of some sort, and it probably wasn't even a 99. So that's a crazy person, and like for real, and like that's insane. Like that's not. I don't even want to touch that kind of shit, because that's just like I don't want to know what kind of stuff goes on in your head if you're doing shit like that. It's crazy. So yeah, back to the actual point. Some people had that Gretzky, and then like the smart ones had the Lemieux, I guess. Like so they weren't showing it off. Um, but none of you did all the events and like racked up the coins and did either 20 20. I don't feel like changing the screen right now, but 26 or I think to do both is 45, and that doesn't break evenly. That's 23 and 22 and a half. So I thought it was 20. I thought it was 26. And I thought it was 45, and that does not work. Maybe it's 26 and 52. That works, but feels wrong to me. But hold on, I could do this. Neither one of those are correct, right? Because there's 90 of them. There's 30 alumni that upgrade to legends, and each of them have 3 tiers. So the first tier where you get to bump them up a humongous +1, and the second tier where they usually only go another +1 or maybe +2, and then the legend, right? Let's see what that. Yes. So, and there's 30 of those. Do that 3 times. That's 90. So it must be. Is that right? That is right. So it's 45 to get one of the two. It's 90 to get both. And that does make sense to me because I did a bunch from my perspective. And I'm way short. I'm 20 something, which is why that makes sense to me now. Like I'm nowhere near being able to do either one of the two. And now it would be just from a completionist sort of standpoint that I would do that, because even with the extremely cheap gold collectible prices and the mostly cheap carbon collectible prices, still not worth it, because you could you could buy like a good legend for like 40K max, partially because then you can, even if it's not like the greatest, which is Brett Hull, you could then turn around and I put up another at least like 6, 7, some cases 8 I think is the most. Yeah, there's a bunch that were 8, like the low level ones. Like 6, 7, or 8 of the draft collectibles to turn that legend into a 99, and those don't seem to want to fall too far from their overall average cost that they've had the entire time of 40K per. So it's a bit insane. Low level of 6 of those. At 40, you're talking about, right there. That's 240K. I get it. It's a 99 overall card, but still, if you then decide you made a poor choice and you want to try to sell it, you are not making your money back. It's not a good investment. Moving on. Talked too long about stuff that we're not talking about, other than the fact that there was nothing new today, but I will show what was new yesterday. So hopefully just one quick thought on things to look out for NHL20, especially with them making some of these adjustments, some that were talked about, some that have not been talked about as much, that start to bring in some aspects from other things that currently exist in the overall EA Sports universe. And the ones that for me bring the most concern, because I don't view, even if there's a couple of cases where I think the thing that they're bringing over is either good or could be good for the new game that's you can get next month. I mean, you can pay for it now, but you get it next month. Even if the thing is, in my opinion, probably good, or is, just is well, I'll just say good, and there's a chance that I'd have to back off of that when the reality of it comes out. The fact that it's coming from FIFA, and I can see kind of some of the ancillary aspects of things that relate to it that are shit over in FIFA, it becomes a concern for me. So here on this page, anybody that I guess is the 3 people that watch these things might have figured out by now that if I start a broadcast on a page, it's usually because I want to talk about the thing that's on the page. So yeah, I'm talking about contracts. Okay, not very sexy. Talking about tradable contracts specifically, or you could look at it as talking about tradable versus non-tradable, since those are the only 2 types that exist in this game as of now. Also, the 10 game, you can't really call it a limit because it's the same upper and lower. That the 10 game allotment of contract extension is the same for now on the tradable, and a concern that this is going to be changed sooner rather than later, but because they're slow as fuck to implement basically anything, I'm not super concerned that it'll be there day one for NHL20, and that is definitely good news, because I don't think this would be a good change. So it's definitely good news if it's not there day one NHL20 for those people that are going to play that game. I've said that I'm not going to. Let's see if I can show any self-restraint on that, despite the evidence of my entire life up to this point being able to not have any self-restraint in any aspect of any portion of life. So here's where I'm going to finally turn it around. I don't even believe myself. So, yeah, so if you're going to play NHL 20, I would be concerned about how contracts are going to play a role there. I wouldn't be immediately super turned off by any adjustments to limits of contract cards. These are all considered gold, and in my opinion, it's one of the many things. Healing is way worse because they sell for way less, and even the quick sell is less on healing cards than they are on contract. Or they were. Yeah, it still is. Okay, so these go for 80. The healing are 50, so you can't even like sell a healing card for anything because the minimum you put it up for is 50, and whether you do a buy now of 100 so that the person knows they're not going to get hosed too much from like getting outbid to a crazy high amount, which doesn't happen. I don't know why anybody would think that would happen. Or if you don't even put a buy now on or whatever. I guess at least assuming you do both for an hour, because either you put it up for an hour because you just want the thing to get over with and see if someone will actually buy it, or you put it up for 3 days just to be like, hey, here's a thing, someone come buy it. Neither one are going to sell anyways, so I don't think it matters. But if you do 50, if you do the minimum, which is you have to do 50 as a minimum price, start price. I'll use audio visual. So this is the lowest you can do. I'm clicking left here. You can't do less than 50. When you punch in numbers that are less than 50, it goes to 50. Now, if you're like, well, how am I supposed to believe you on that? Well, here you go. I'm going to put in 7 now. Goes to 50. Okay? Same deal here. Goes away if you do anything less than 100 on the buy now price, I believe, right? I can't pick 99, right? No, okay, yeah. So here's the lowest you can do with the starting price and a buy now, but you don't have to have a buy now. You can leave that open. So this is basically the lowest price you do. And in my opinion, here's the auction duration on 19. So maybe to expect the same thing for 20. I could get into some adjustments on these things for 20. Particularly once I go through the list, I'll point those out. So an hour, 3, 6, 12, a day, and 3 days. So I'd be cool with something between a day and 3 days. And I could also probably get behind an 18-hour mark also. But then I just get too much into stuff. Like I could probably get behind a 9-hour mark, or being specific between 6 and 12. I mean, I probably would be cool with being like having these be the set ones, but then like you do here where it's set, but you also then get to click and use your keyboard to input things. You don't. I'm clicking X here. You can't do that here. I think that'd be a decent change. So I just walked my way into coming up with another way in which the game would be better, in my opinion. This one is not one that I think is a slam dunk, I'm always right sort of situation, like a lot of my suggestions are. But here I think it'd be totally fine to have these as the listed ones, and then be able to like come in here and choose something specific. So, just as an example, if this was, well, I mean, even right at this particular moment, if I want to have something where it's expiring like either like at the server reset tomorrow, or like within the hour of the server reset, and there's a lot of reasons why you would want to do that. People, come on at least on certain days when things are expected, more so during the actual season and not 11 months in when there's only 5 of us left over here. And so right now I can't do that. I can either do it I can pick a day, and then it'll technically. I mean, if I do this, it doesn't matter what my duration is, which was the original point that I was making. But if this was an actual auction that I actually cared about, and by the way, if you have tradable contracts, don't sell them for this price unless you just like really need the money, coins. In which case, just quick sell for 80 anyways, and then it's instantaneous. But this would sell for 100 like as soon as someone saw it, or a bot picked it up, more likely. But either way, I pick a day. That's going to be now it's 2 hours and about 5 minutes or whatever past the reset. Tomorrow is when that would end. If this was an actual important auction that had something that people actually wanted to buy and had prices that mattered. Whereas otherwise I could say, okay, well, then I'll just do 12 hours so it'll expire prior to the server reset and won't get completely fucked by tomorrow's new stuff being something crazy that totally impacts the item that I'm looking to auction off. For better or for worse, sometimes you get screwed getting rid of something and then it turns out that Gabriel Bork that you sold for 500 coins is now going for 50,000 coins, and it's still just a 78 overall gold common, but overnight it became something that was much needed for whatever that stupid event was that all the insiders knew about, and so they went out and bought all those cards. It's gross. It's so gross. So yeah, you do 12 hours. I don't see how that helps. Because then you're looking at 7 a.m. Eastern time on a Sunday morning. So for a game that releases in September. So if one of the 5 people that are still playing happen to be up for like their fucking kids or something, but don't really care that much about their kids, and so they're over here playing a hockey game that's 11 months old and are looking to buy, in this case, contracts, then great, you pick the exact perfect time duration. So I guess my point would be between 12 hours and 1 day, if you want to time it around the reset, not because you're trying to do that fucked up Gabriel Bork thing that happened this year, but because you just want to have eyeballs on the thing that you're looking to get rid of. I don't think there's anything wrong with like picking out a specific amount. Like you know, I don't know, pick out like, right now you'd pick out like 18 or whatever it is, 18, 19, 20 hours, whatever. And that would be not like infinitely better, but it would be an improvement over either of these two options. So I would say to do that. But I came in here to point out that these are the minimums. You can't go any lower than 50. You can't go any lower than a buy now of 100. You can go exactly, just so people can see, you can go exactly 101. You can go Price is Right if you feel like it. If you do this, and I'm not doing a whole thing on auction and weirdness, because that's what this is. This is auction weirdness. But if you did this, technically speaking, the initial person looking to buy, because it's not actually an auction, could put in a bid for 50 with the starting price, and then I mean, they could actually technically be all, you can outbid yourself, which is retarded, but you can do it. So they can just do all three of the things that can happen here, but otherwise you can have, and the max you can have is 3 different people doing it, because once one person does it, another person can't do the exact same action. So the 3 actions that can happen here, I don't know why they would generally, but when it's super active earlier in the year and people are trying to snipe prices on hot player cards or maybe collectibles that they think are going to be useful and never are, you could have a person come in here and put it in for 50, and then another person maybe not realizing that one was in there probably would be the main reason why they would do this. Or they just feel like kind of testing to see if anybody's paying attention to stuff. They could put in a bid at 100, because you have to go in increments, minimum increments of 50. Or maybe they're just not even that familiar with the auction market, and they don't realize that like you can actually set your own prices, as opposed, like when you don't want to do buy now, which in this case would be really silly because it's literally 1 coin difference. But sure, if there was a significant difference, it would make much more sense, where they just want to put in the next bid, and they don't realize that next bid does not have to be plus 50 from the original one. And then we're talking about, like, if you're looking at numbers like at least this, right? So somebody did bid 700. Did bid? Let's make it so the other one doesn't have a 7 in it. So someone bids 700, and then you're looking at this, and it's not ready to. It's it's got an hour left to go. But you don't feel like paying 1900. Makes sense. Fine. Whatever. So say this is like a gold common or a gold rare player card right now. That's certainly less than 85 overall rating. If you just click place bid, it'll do whatever the next is, which for some reason I feel is actually 800 and not 750, but whatever. I think it's supposed to be plus 50 on each one of them, so it'll put in as 750 for you if you don't click it. But when you click it, and I guess I can go, I got enough coins, I can go over to the auction and mess around with one of them. I just kind of don't feel like clicking through on the final button to submit for anything, because I have no desire to actually buy anything at the moment. But if someone has bid the starting price is 700, and that's what you see, but you don't feel like paying 1900, you can bid, and you can bid as low as 750. And if you just click on the button and then click the next button, and I'm sorry that I'm not showing you that explicitly, but hopefully you understand what the fuck I'm saying. You can do that, and it'll bid for you at 750. You see that on the screen, and you agree to those terms. But when you see 750, you can click. So you're gonna be like here. So you can like click up, and you can adjust by clicking left or right, but you can't really click like left. You can't go less than 750. But you can click up, and you can bid like 800 or 850, or you can click and input something in the keyboard. And so instead of like, you could be weird and be like, Price is Right, 751, and you can bid that. So that's what I was trying to say on this minimum one here. This could be 3. There could literally be 3 bids on this, which is a bit crazy or super crazy, depending upon your point of view. I'm going to go with super. So someone bids, assuming these are three different people, someone bids 50, someone else sees that and bids 100, trying to apparently save themselves that one coin, and then someone else sees it and is like, no, I'm just going to buy now. If they went to go place a bid, I think it gives the thing where like it basically tells you can't place a bid because there are no bid amounts that are above the current bid price and less than the buy now price. So it kind of stupefies you into realizing that you just need to do the buy now price. And so you would buy now, and you would buy it at 101, and even if it had 3 days left to go, you now own that item, and you're 101. In this example, you're 101 coins lighter. And even though they have not dynamically programmed this stuff, even though they should have, at least, unless this all happened like super quick, it would happen probably on an item like this, even with a completely inactive auction market here on PlayStation, that also only starts when you go to the screen, only starts on player cards, and so therefore you could very easily miss something like this if it's only available for an hour. But these prices are these are low prices for this item even in August. And so it could happen quickly, but if it didn't happen quickly, say somebody put the bid, like especially if we put it in for 3 days and the buy now was super high or whatever, it was crazy number or whatever, the people like myself, I do this, when I feel like doing something because I'm bored as fuck, I'll look at stuff that's going for 50 as a starting price that no one's bid on, and I'll just put up my 50 coins and just kind of like hope that no one notices for 3 days that I'm trying to get a 99 whatever that special version of Austin Matthews or whatever that we all got for free, that I got twice for free on the one account, because like I don't know if I was given a choice and I chose it both times. I don't think that's the case. I think I chose it once, and the other time I was just given it. Not that I was complaining; it was fun to have, and I actually had, because of the second one's time duration, I had an overlap of having that card on the team along with my choice of Matt Duchene's 99 free agency card, whatever the fuck that was. So that was fun, having two like actual current player 99 cards on my team, because I do not have any of those. I don't even have anything remotely close to that that I could think of. Yeah. I have a 97 overall free agency. Fuck's his name? JT Comfer. So I mean, it's only -2, so it's not like I'm like complaining or whatever, but you know, just 99. I do have 99s. They are the same as everyone else's, the legend ones that you got to upgrade. Oop. I also do not have a fan to blow on my back while I'm doing this, which I should. Jesus Christ. Or I should just maybe not do broadcasts that go for like 6 hours when I'm talking about something as simple as contracts. Back to the point. Those are the three things that could potentially happen from this. You could have somebody bid 50 and somebody just not know what they're doing and put in another bid and not realize that it was one coin difference, and they put it in for 100, and then whether they were the ones to realize, oh, I can just buy that now for an extra coin, literally one extra coin, or someone else notices before them and they buy it now for that coin. That'll happen. And all I was trying to say, I'm not going to get sidetracked again though, was that because it's not properly dynamically programmed, it doesn't really tend to happen as far as processing as quickly as it ought to, especially when the markets are inactive. But the person who put in the 50, especially if there's a big time gap between when they do that and when the next bid or sets of bids come in, they won't get their 50 coins back like instantaneously as soon as that bid is put out, the way that they ought to, if this was a real market. But it's not a real market, so it's not going to happen ever. But once the buy now goes through in this example of 101, if there were 3 players or accounts that did this, one for 50, one for 100, and one for 101, and those are the only choices for this, like regardless of auction duration or whatever the thing is that's being sold. As far as NHL19 goes, those are the only 3 choices that would be possible if these were the price dimensions that were chosen. Okay, so when 101 is chosen as a buy now, someone actually selects that and buys it now, those coins immediately go out of their coin purse, as they do for everyone else who bid on it. But unfortunately, it's not super quick on bringing those coins back in for somebody else. If they're in game, like gameplay, like playing in this case, an actual hockey game, it makes sense. Like, they don't necessarily need the coins at that moment. They can wait till the game's over to know that they've got more coins or whatever, I guess. Usually shouldn't have a huge bearing, regardless of whatever the item or items were that they were looking to get on that game's gameplay. Like, I can't really think of an example of when that would make sense. I don't know, except for like NHL19, like day one, again, if you were willing to spend, I think it was $3.5 million was the lowest you could pay for the 99 Gretzky, and you put the bid out there, but you didn't do buy now for some reason. So this all is all falling apart. It doesn't make any sense, even in the hypothetical. And then you played a game because you're trying to slog through. So maybe you're playing the offline versus CPU stuff to try to get through your progressions. But you had that bid out there that hadn't been done yet. Even then, like, especially in that case where you're only playing against the computer and you can come back to it at any time. So screw that. So I guess you're playing against an actual person competitively. I don't, unless you're like top 5, top 10 in the world, and the other player is 2, and every game that you guys play against each other is like super important, then maybe it's important for you to have knowledge of whether your bid on that 99 Gretzky or Lemieux is gonna win prior to your current game ending, and then could impact how you would approach that current game that you're playing. It's the best I can do for you. I can't come up with a better hypothetical in which that would potentially make sense, and even then, I think you're a fucktard if that's your case. I don't think that makes any sense at all. So let's move on. These are the current parameters for contracts in NHL 19, and it looks like changes are coming for NHL 20. When they're looking to bring in SBCs, other types of game modes, other types of ways in which even standard cards are going to be impacted. If they take on the FIFA model where you get a stupid fucking training card and you get to pick and if they haven't already thought about this, and like somehow, despite no one ever watching these things that I do here on YouTube, and I think I've mentioned this before, so I don't know why this time saying it would make it a thing, and I just noticed that the end of my coins are 666, and I don't like that, so I'm going to absolutely go bid on something for at least a coin, 50 I guess, to get rid of that. Anyway, yeah, so, the fuck was I talking about? Where there, we in FIFA, you can add, like, first off, there is a card, and it's, in my opinion, it's usually one of the best cards, where you can up all your attributes for your player, and it's not for your created player in a mode that has no impact on others. It's on your actual player cards that you're using in foot, which is over here we have HUT. So it's the same production house that, and I don't just mean like EA in general. I mean like literally, it's the only two things that the people up there in Vancouver do is this game and that game, and one other one that nobody gives a shit about. That's not even a sports title. So, and plenty of at least programmers, and seems like at least second line folks get cross functional when they work on the different titles throughout the course of a calendar year. So it would seem super crazy to me that like it's never been thought of to be like, hey, should we port this to hockey? How would the NHL community take to this? And I've already heard NHL community people talk on the forums about wanting this, and they're fucking retarded for wanting it because it's terrible in FIFA and it would be terrible in NHL as well. But there's a I think it's +10. You can boost all your attributes for your footballer +10. It's a little bit different of situation over there because the equivalency of like silver commons in some cases, but at least like silver rares over here are actually like really good cards, even as you approach endgame over in FIFA. I mean, sure, certain players do the same shit there that people do here, where it's just like all I care about is 99 or maxing my speed and or shot or whatever. But like everyone else that's building normal teams, those lower rated cards and therefore lower rated players because of the player cards actually do matter. It's just Gatorade, unfortunately. Sorry. Wish this was a fun drink. Unless Gatorade wants to sponsor me, in which case it's totally a fun drink. But they should. I mean, they should know it's not the same as booze, right? So the fact, especially like the fact that SBCs, so squad building challenges, and it looks like there's going to be these things where you can you try to put together like I don't know how it's going to work in hockey honestly, but you basically take player cards that you have, and instead of doing like 2 gold rares or I guess 5 gold commons and trading them in for 1 random, but for some reason always the lowest rated overall 80 gold rare on a trade-in. Instead of doing that, you get a little bit more creative, trade in different stuff, sometimes that meet certain requirements that aren't just the type of card that it is or its overall rating, but like based on their team or what country they're from and stupid shit like that. You build your squad, and they've been doing it so long in FIFA that there are multiple sites out there that help you build out that squad prior to you doing it in game. And in fact, FIFA comes with a companion app that I don't have a current working copy accessible of FIFA 19 like at this moment, and yet I still have the companion app on my phone, and so I could go into the companion app and do shit in there. But for what's probably obvious reasons, I got locked out of the auctions without even ever knowing that I had or that I had done something to deserve that. I probably just got an email about it. And the other thing that kind of sucks, at least for me, having played later and trying not to put any money into that game, I don't know like the content that you would need or want to be able to put a proper squad together or whatever. And so for me, that would require me going out and buying, not always like unreasonably, like sometimes with coins that I had accessible, the more specific cards that would fit that challenge better and make it easier to complete, so that you get whatever the thing is that you're completing out of the challenge, even if most of the time they're just packs. But and it's EA, so we know the packs are crap and should not be bought, but they're still better than packs were in NHL19. So I think it's a slippery slope, and I think it's going in that direction already. Um, and so yeah, them coming up with a, what would it be like? It'd be at least a +3, maybe a +5, for shooting. And then would that impact all shootings? That'd be wrist shot accuracy and power, as well as slap shot accuracy and power, or would it be just wrist or just slap, or would it be just power or just accuracy? It could be any of those things, and they could pretend like they're creative by giving you the choice of all of them, separately, individually, or whatever. Um, and it's such garbage. It's wasting coins, and unfortunately, especially for kids, that means wasting money, and it's not their fucking money, so it's wasting parents' money that don't even know the game even exists, which really sucks. Um, but yeah, I could see that happening, and I kind of don't want to see that happening. And how that relates to contracts is that you can have different levels as well. It could be less games. You might not feel the need to add 10 games. FIFA has a 99 contract, which you really only kind of need for like your top player. So it's basically, that is now the second time they've knocked this fucking mic out of my ear. They've both been within the last like 5-10 minutes, but I'm just really uncomfortable, and I can't make it any cooler or colder in here. I guess I could sit a contour closer to the output of the cold, but that's not gonna do that much for me, unfortunately. Like the 99 contract in FIFA, in my opinion, is pretty much equivalent to the same thing that you do here over on NHL of adding captaincy cards, be it the captain or the assistant captain. Not that it makes any fucking difference between the two. It's just whether, when you see them, usually just pre-game, or if you stop to do an instant replay during the game or whatever, you'll be able to see that A or C letter emblazoned upon their jersey or whatever. In other words, in this game, it's 100,000% cosmetic. The 99 contract is kind of the same thing. You're really only doing it initially, at least, for your top guy, and that person is usually defaulted as your captain in FIFA, anyways. So it's kind of the same thing, except not quite as cosmetic, because you do get 99 games under contract for that player, as opposed to having to use 9 to 10 of these things here. So yeah, I could see variance in the contracts, and as long as like if 10 games was gold and they do contracts that are less, as long as the things that are less games, extensions on contracts, also come with a lower grade or color. And if you're up north, I guess you spell that with a U because you're fucking retarded. You guys aren't British anymore. You can speak like normal people. It's fine. As long as it's not gold, then I'm fine, because consumables and head coaches and arenas and jerseys and team items and on and on and on, allow them to sell these gold packs and things that are supposed to be better than gold packs, listing out how many gold items are in the thing. And all of these 14 things, I've only been stuck on the one here, but these 14, and it's only yeah, there's all 14 are on the page. I was like, what? Did math for 2 seconds, and for some reason it didn't work the first time I did it. Yeah, so these 14 are all considered gold. So like the number of gold packs that I've opened, of which I got X number, I don't fucking remember if it was like 40 or whatever from the $100 pre-order or whatever. eventually you just get really sick and tired of seeing consumables, particularly, and other items that you have no interest in getting and that you can't sell for anything and that aren't even worth their quick sell, quite frankly. Contracts are probably like the currently are kind of the about the least worst of those, as long as it's tradable. Head coaches you can just quick sell for 200. No one's buying them, so I just quick sell them for 200 whenever I get a tradable one. But most of the new stuff that you get in the game at this point are freebies, and so therefore EA Vancouver just locks them all down as untradeable. So if I could step off my soapbox there, that's my point, I think, is if this moves to a thing where the contracts are anything less than 10, I don't even know what they would be. Maybe like one at 5 and another at 3. Maybe one that's just a one gamer. You know, like I was gonna say like a Yager contract, but plenty of teams bring back certain players for their true, well, not actually true, but for their statistically final game of their career, for their team, when both parties want that to be a thing. So you do that with a 1 game contract, and the person usually ends up not actually playing, or they'll get their 1 second of ice time, so it gets listed or whatever. So I could see 1 gamers or whatever, but like it'd be like, here's where I'll end with this, and this is how I think it'd be super fucking frustrating. So if you got the 10ers already, these ones right here, the standard ones, they're gold contracts. You got 5s, those are silver. Okay, that's an improvement. You got 3s, those are bronze, another improvement. Just because we don't want to be fucking with the grades, because it messes up the bullshit that they get to promote in pack contents and odds and shit like that. Even though they never give odds on non-player items, but whatever. And then the 1 game contracts like get gold as well, because reasons. I could totally see that happening, and that'd be really fucking annoying, especially if they looked basically just like this, except they just didn't have the 0 next to it, and so they'd pop up and you're like, oh fuck, another contract card. Wait, hold on, it's only a 1 gamer and it's still counted as a gold, so I got less gold items in this fucking pack, and all I get to do is extend 1 player card by 1 game that I won't even notice that I extended in that game, and then I got into the game and the person DQ'd me by using tech that is apparently more advanced than EA is capable of handling. At the time, it's true, at the time there was a true statement. They've since apparently been able to retroactively fix it. So that's a thing. But the reason why I was really showing this, though, is that I've got these 14 that are tradable. Well, what do you think? I got any non-tradable? Yeah, I got a few. So I just tested this. There's someone in the room for some reason. If you're logged into YouTube, you can feel free to say hello. If you play NHL19 or considering 20, this could be info for you, I guess. I was talking about how I've only got 14 tradable left outside of my inbox of the contract cards. These are in my collection, but I got a bunch of the non-tradables. I'd say a bunch, 263 of them. And I only tested this once. I'll test it again though. I had only 1 contract expired on my current team that I was about to jump into a offline versus CPU for this week's new event for the untradeable free agent Jordan Subban card and the probably mini free agency pack. I only had the 1, and I used the quick apply. And I looked at this screen ahead of time, and I was at 14 tradable. and then I used the one. I came back to the screen. And I was still at 14 tradable. So in that one instance, they did in fact use a non-tradable. I don't know the code. I'm not gonna. I don't know how to, but I'm not looking at the source code. I don't know if it always does that. It'd be kind of surprising to me if it does. Either way, I'm already taking all of these out. Let's see if it. I think it's been an hour, so I could probably get through this. Perfect. So I could finish this right now and drop the other 13 on there. I'm not going to though. But I'm putting these up on ridiculous prices. I put some up at I did a couple at this, and I did a couple just so like if anybody saw that I was doing this, they understood that I wasn't like trying to get real prices or whatever. Did a couple at that too, whatever. So I'm just because I'm forcibly putting them into my inbox because I'm pretty sure there's no limit in terms of what you can have in your inbox. I know my inbox has been large throughout the season. It's not so much at the moment. And this gets them out of the collection, and so it's going to force the game to always default to non-tradable contracts when extending a player's contracts. And I'm just doing that now here in 19 because I'd say slightly concerned. I think people should pay attention to it. I think it may become an issue in 20. So that's it for contracts. Yeah, and I guess I was in the thing. I'm gonna change my coins? No. All right. Well, I'm gonna buy something then. I guess. I don't want to see that 666 up there. Ooh, that Tanev I would have bought if you didn't ask for too much money for it. What's the 86 going for? I got an 86 untradeable Salming today. I thought that was really strange. 99 is for 158, huh? All right. And I meant the Christopher Tanev, not the 94 Brandon Tanev that I also can't afford. Uh, 21. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll go with that. What did? Okay. Well, I'm not going above 700, so there you go. Wait, why does it say? Ah. I thought it gave me 300 coins because I thought I was at 26,666, but I was at 27,666. And because it's not dynamically programmed, I have to come all the way back out. And it gave me my coins back. So I lost it. That's great. There you go, EA. Nearing item inbox limit. Since when? Okay, I'm gonna go in and take shit out that doesn't like the collectibles for the oh, I already took out shit. I already took out all my the things that I yeah, these don't need to, I don't need to remind myself that I can do captaincy stuff, whatever. What was I talking about? I hate this. I could have sworn I've had, I don't know, maybe I haven't had more than 100 in here before. I did this with Evos. This is how I got Evos, because I went crazy with my inbox. I would have never had. I had almost every single Evo that was released at one point or another. I wouldn't have been capable of doing that if I was not going crazy with the max on active auctions, active bids, watch lists, and item inbox. I don't know. Like I was opening packs too, but like I don't know if there's a limit on those. There's a limit on how many you could buy of a certain type in a certain time frame, but that was it. So we're still fucked with our 666 here. So I guess because the game is not capable of programming itself tonight, and I'm not paying 1,500, dude. Since the game is not capable of... What the fuck? There's literally no good prices. That's so stupid. I'm not even paying 1,400, dude. I'm not. Alright, do I need any... I don't need anything else, right? Collectibles? Gold for 4K? People are so shitty, man. I'm gonna call all you out. That's the game. Lock and load. That's the game. That's the game. That's the game. You are shitty fucking people. You really are. Those things are useless. You're trying to sell them in a manner that suggests they're not useless. Pretty shitty. There you go. 300. County Kings. More like cunty kings. Specifically the Art Ross one. Like, why do you think someone's gonna buy that for 1,900? I can't even pronounce your name, you fucking degenerate piece of shit. Evos, yeah, let's sell some Evo collectibles. Why don't you guys just like be normal fucking people and put these into the, especially the Evo ones, and whatever the other one was, I forget what the other one was. There's two sets of collectibles that got sunset, which means you can at least get. One only gives you like 100 or 200 coins. I get that. That's pretty shitty. And the other one gives you like a, I don't know if it's a silver card or a silver pack. Either way, they're shitty, but they're better than all of the collectibles that I have that are untradeable and that I can't do anything with. So as far as I know, entry draft and basic are the only things that have any value. And these are all overpriced. So I'm not, and I don't even have that many coins. So clearly I'm not buying any of these. That threw me off. That kind of threw me off a little bit, but that's $15, so that'll course correct itself. So that's a waste of time. Oh, and that sucks. And from here I can't even, that's why people don't go from this one here. Okay, so I'm gonna go into sets. That was today with the 97 Wayne Gretzky. I was right. But I don't know if I said that in the fuck up that I did in 40 minutes prior to this one, or if I did it in this one. What do I want? I want not Jesus Christ. I mean, yes, if you want to give me gold or carbon, I'll take it. So it's in. I don't buy these things, so I wouldn't fucking know. How about that? I'll take a bronze. Take a bronze collectible for like 100 coins, maybe. 250. That's not even a, Jesus Christ. That's not even an endpoint price. What? You guys all need lessons on how derivatives work and how to accurately price them. I'm not paying you 500 coins for a bronze collectible. You're out of your fucking mind. Price it correctly and I might actually buy it from you. I bet this one is also incorrectly priced. I guess because people don't buy them. There's only 162 of them up for sale. You think that they would like figure out what would be appropriate? No. Okay. So what buy now is, yeah, so that's 58. Want a little over on that. 44. 19. So I guess they're going for 900. No, 13. 850, 800. One's going for 725. And you could say, well, 5 of those get you a gold. That's how you get to be to a derivative value. Mine's untradeable. That's why I'm not getting rid of mine, because I can't. But the problem is these should not be going for 5K either. And carbons should not be going for 50K either. They should maybe max at 4, and that's really stretching it. 3899 is still, in my opinion, overpriced. So we will see if that is what this current stupidity of the market wants to go at. And there's 265 of these out there in the PS2 market, and yes, 10 are being sold at about that price. I should almost like reward this person for coming down 100, but I also don't want to spend 3,800 coins on basically anything, and certainly not a gold collectible that is useless. So I don't actually have anything to buy. Because again, the gold commons were all overpriced as well. Like right now is just not a good time. The market is 856 of these. The last one that just went off could have been got for $15.95. There's another 571 that are at or below that price. I don't think any of these are reasonable yet, by the way. So I'm just... There you go. Unreasonable. None of these are worth $1,000. None of them are worth $1,000. I'm not giving you $1,000 for any of these. See, and even that I'd have to pay $750 for both of those to try to get lucky. Like that's a real price. And then suddenly a 1200 just popped up for, oh, never mind. I got confused because of the terrible prices they threw me off on, whether the, anyway, it doesn't matter. You can have that Alex DeBrincat right there for whatever anyone is currently selling Alex DeBrincat for. And I don't think I get to click from there to... Oh, I can, right? Yeah, I can click in here and search auction market. Perfect. Forgot that was a thing. Oh, there's only one. I don't want to give that up for $2,000. And then someone would have to choose mine over theirs. That's not going to happen. But yeah, I'd be maybe willing to sell it for that price. I don't know, 1250. It feels like I could do better. And I can. There you go, we got a winner. Take Damon one more time. Problem is that's 1,000 and I'm still stuck at 666, but I decided to actually buy the one thing that was a halfway decent price. "31 minutes, what?" God damn it. Oh, I was so ready to click on that and just get rid of these 6s. 1 second. until I realized that for 2 days and 5 hours, probably closer to 6, I could be at the mercy of. It wouldn't be for that whole. So it'd be like 2 days, up to 2 days and 4 hours. I might be waiting for another person to at least put an extra 50 on top of my bid. That's not going to go for 800. It's not going to go for 140 either. It may. Somebody might get stupid. But I was absolutely willing to put that on and get rid of the 6s. Alright. Let's do 95. Smart. Actually, let's get rid of... I mean, even though I already know there's nothing there right now, just in case somebody drops a new one on there for an hour. I would not really call this sniping. 2 days and 2 hours to try to get a 97 toy Carlson. William Carlson, should be specific. Yeah, I don't want that card at all. 86 face-offs and no synergy to boost the face-off. I mean, so it's just like every other center in the game, but I mean, you got a 90, and we all have enough 99 legend centers that are actually good at face-offs. So you don't need another centerman to actually take face-offs, but still. And he is technically defensive team of the year, but still. If you go into be a pro and you look at the skill trait in be a pro in NHL19, which is the game you're currently looking at, face-offs is a defensive trait. I shit you not. I could try to show you. For some reason, I feel like if I exit out of HUT mode, I'll like lose the broadcast. Okay, so I don't. How do I haven't tried to snipe in like 5 months, so yeah, that's like my break. Even I can't fucking do anything here. All right, so cool. Come on, man. Huh. Like, I wonder how many people think that 93 Nolan is the one you can trade in for a 99 when it's absolutely not at the moment. I don't see that changing. You gotta get the 97. Man, this sucks. So you legit think this is a how much? 50? You think this is a 50k card? Max speed, sure. Endurance sucks. Shots garbage from a defenseman. Shocker. And the rest of the stats don't matter, so stop pretending like they do. And he's basically short too, right? I mean, he shoots left, so that's solid. On the left side, that's your thing. Which is, it's not for me, in case you can't tell. But 5'11", 183, 38-year-old Finlander. Not my cup of tea. So now I have to lose out on the possibility of a better card popping up. And then you get Formenton, who's actually a good card. You get 14 minutes on Howard Chuck, also a good card, just not really worth 10k. 3 days. What the fuck, man? Ugh. It's gross. It's gross. Jesus, that oh, because of the, yeah, the Thatcher, Demko, Jet Wu, Jake Virtanen, and Mike DiPietro cards. They're all gonna be right in that range. That sucks. So what's? Oh, so just this page basically. That sucks. 20K for Howie. Yeah, seems to be what they're going for. But his that was stupid. M is actually usually much closer to the to the bottom than to the top. And he's playmaker, yeah. Gotta stick with the things that don't change. I can't go off of synergy style because that does change between the alumni cards and the legend ones. But that's not enough. Like, that's gonna add more, and then I gotta fix the price. That's gonna add more too. So who else is gonna get tossed in here? Ugh, Bellevue, no interest. Here's the legend, the 95, 87, 65. If I want to wait 3 hours. So that was kind of what I was wondering, is if you could snipe any of the legend Morens. Yeah, answer is no. And let's see, what's the, since we're already in sets and not doing anything really in terms of being able to bring our 66 down. And again, yeah, there you go, I'm 23 out of 45, and a nice little reminder that I gotta get 90 of those if I want both cards. He's totally at the end, isn't he? Or did I pass him? What the fuck's going on? There we go. Wait, what? Oh, that sucks. Why would somebody pay that much? That's absurd. You guys seriously think somebody wants to pay 20K for the base? I guess it's because people are actually playing with the basic card. So it's not just about the derivative value. But you got to pay 20 for that, 4 carbons, just to make it a 90. And then I would imagine the 90 would have been on that same screen that we were on before. So yeah, no one is selling the 90. You need that and another 89 and 5 carbons just to upgrade to the 92. And it's the 92 that you can turn into a legend. And no one's selling the... Did I click on auction house or that probably doesn't matter if I even clicked on the right thing. And this takes an additional 6 carbons. That's insane. That's legit insane. How much are fucking carbons going for now? Yes, do people still think 30 to 40 is appropriate? There's only 21 of them, entire market. 21, so 6 6, 5, and 3. So 14. If you buy the 89 with the intention of making it a legend, you need 14 fucking carbons. And there were, again, how many? Not collect. I know I don't have any in the collection. Thank you. Can you please? Thank you. I hate when you press down, but it apparently didn't do it quick enough. 21. So you have to buy 13 out of the 21 that are currently being sold, and have none of these clearly. Actually, yeah, I don't. At least I don't. Which Troya for sure, but I don't recognize. I only recognized 3 bots in that list. But even so, you're gonna alert potentially all 3 of the bots, especially if you buy any of their offerings. And so now if you're going to be smart enough to be able to not buy their offerings, and then also have the ones that I don't know with 100% certainty are bots, like I do the other 3, you can buy from those other ones to try to get your 13, and hope that they're not that they're not bots, and that they're not gonna get the notification that you just did this buy now on 38K, and suddenly 21 items drops dramatically down to like 3, and they're all being offered for like 50K, and then they might add more items back up there, so you might go back up to 21 items, and then like, oh, that's weird, it's the same exact sellers, but with time remaining suddenly at the new marks of an hour or 3 hours or 6 hours or a day or whatever, with like a 75% markup. Like, you guys are not HFTAs in the stock market. This is not a true market. Like, fuck off trying to be slick. None of these prices are good. Don't buy carbons. Don't legend out your cards. Even if you're like me, I'll show you again. I'll show you how pathetic this is. And yeah, I put mine over on the. I'm somewhat anal. I like it better on the left side than on the right side. I don't know if I want to start reading, like Yiddish or something. I guess I should read right to left or some other type of Middle Eastern language. But I go left right. So yeah, I put mine in the left, not because I'm actually looking at Gretzky more than Lemieux. I could definitely see reasons for wanting the Lemieux more, but I would take either one, if only for the synergies and the fact that every single stat is 99. But I'm never getting there. I'm literally never getting there. You can see me a year from now, and I've still not solved the problem of the coins. So here's to yesterday's event. Was adding a 97 Kings alumni free agent Wayne Gretzky card. Should we go look it up? Look it up? Sure, let's go do that. I'm just kind of hoping that my coin situation like fixes itself while I do this, but I don't see how or why that would happen. Oh, my bad. Maybe look down instead of just top right. Yeah, so if you can get past all the 99s, here's your 97. I guess if you like really wanted them in a Kings jersey, even though the jersey's dependent upon what jersey you put your team in, it's got nothing to do with the player card. But whatever. Yeah, and I don't know. Hammer time at the moment for me is I don't care at all. I didn't care almost the entire zone, and now it's active and it's fine. And even when fine shooting and clutch player came out, I didn't really care about those either. And those being activated, those are fine for me as well. So really, like, Hammer Time is the only one that I would say I have currently no interest in whatsoever. But the only one that I actually like is for the boys, and I need no help with that whatsoever because it has been that and Burner were the 2 that I went with the entire year. So I got backups on that. Okay, I will give it away for anybody that, because then maybe I can sell the 2 cards that I'm talking about because they're both tradable. And there's probably more than these 2, but these are the 2 that were helpful at the time. So there are 2 attendees who have random alumni cards. So they're not this, and they're not the alumni that are part of the Legend upgrade process. So they're not any of those 30, and they're not any of, well, they might have had weird free agency or other releases, I guess. I didn't pay any attention to whether they got those or not. They were just like the random alumni that they dropped over the course of the year, and I didn't pack either one of them because I never pack fucking anything, which is partially why I stopped buying packs. So I just went out and bought them. They were good. They were good price at the time, good value at the time, and you could probably get them a little bit cheaper than I bought them at the time, despite the fact that, again, I got a deal, and then they went up in price, and then they just like went away. So I feel like I was not the only one who realized, like, oh, I want the card and I want to keep the card. And I did play my fair share of games with both of those tendies, and they're effectively interchangeable. They're basically the same size. I think they're the same hand. They're unfortunately, neither one of them are really that big. So they're not Robin Lehner type deals where it's like, if big was all that mattered, you're good. It's not the seal playing tendy for the Geico commercial or anything like that, like the actual animal seal as opposed to the ugly fucking singer or whatever. He'd refer to himself as a singer, right? Artist? I don't know. Whatever. When I insult people, I like to try to do my best to ensure that I'm referring to them the way that they want to be referred to as. So there's these 2 tendies. I'm not giving the whole thing away. You gotta do some research yourself. You can go on a website right now and just type in some of the info that I'm giving you and it'll pop out with the answer. And plus, I actually don't even remember. I remember one of the 2. I don't remember both, I don't think. If I thought about it long enough, I think I could come up with both of them. They're not super good, so they're not like crazy rated. They're definitely like because they were like the shitty, just like random drop alumni cards, they definitely were the ones where you're like, well, if it wasn't for these other specifics that I think are great, which is why I got them, I would have. I've never held on to those random alumni cards outside of. Did I get rid of my last one of these? I think I must have, because he was an 83 player card, and he doesn't pop up when I autofill the gold rare rerolls. Even though I don't always, I think you saw I got a timer. I've done the gold rare reroll within the last 7 hours. But I don't even do it once a day anymore, because it's fucking terrible. It really is. You can only get so many 80 overalls. Okay, so this is a totally different topic, but if you have no use for the gold commons that are untradeable, I feel like, and if you're like me and you still don't have the Chelios from opening up the 500 packs, which I'm supposed to be approximately 4 days away from, which means I'll get it, the day before NHL20 comes out. And you're going to be opening packs anyways, which means you're going to get a bunch of silver commons, because why would they give you anything useful? And they're always untradeable, so I still feel the need to just drop that shit into the sets and then eventually work your way up to having 5 gold commons and hope that you can get a card like this that you have no interest in spending any coins on whatsoever, but that I'd assume you'd add to the team, right? I mean, these 99s and 98s on the stuff that I care about, and 99s and 98s on basically everything else too. So yeah, I'm talking shit about the card, but I'd add Gretzky. I don't care about the synergies. Honestly, like mine are gonna be activated anyways with my actual players. I don't know shooting left-handed. I guess being yeah. See, it's thrown off because okay, his balance is shit, but his endurance is 99. So yeah, I'd toss him on with that 99 endurance. I would definitely toss him on to some of the special teams. That balance of 88 though, that's going to impact a little bit. And he's clearly not a body guy. So despite having speed and despite having a heavy shot, I actually probably would not look to put him on D. And I mean, when you're lanky, when you're 6'0", 185, you're not gonna generally be all that effective on D anyways. But a lot of the other factors, he would have been one of the many forwards that I would have put on D during the course of the year, especially because hammer time is supposed to impact that kind of shit. But it's probably not gonna get activated for me anyways, even if I had this card. So yeah, so I guess he would be like my third line right winger, maybe fourth line. So the greatest player of all time playing on, no offense Edmonton, but playing on the team that effectively depends on how you look at it, either put him on the map, which he was going to get there anyways, being the best of all time, or put the Canadian game of hockey on the map here in North America. Okay, I gave it away. I'm in the States. Big shocker there. I think I kind of gave that away already. With the Kings. So I mean, him coming to the Kings was a thing for sure. And in my opinion, even with things being more either conflated or made in other ways made more of a big deal of, even when if it's not a big deal, I think still more impactful uh, the move to the Kings by Gretzky than was the move to the fuck do they call themselves? The Galaxy for Beckham at that time, and still currently with bullshit, um, revisionist history. Um, but apparently he's doing a whole new team in like Miami now or some shit. Not Gretzky, but Beckham, and that could be a thing. And Neymar wants out of his contract. Wow, like you bring, no offense, I mean like Beckham probably like wouldn't want to give up any of the limelight, but you bring Neymar into the MLS, I actually give a shit about the MLS all of a sudden. I mean, I only care about one player on one team, but like most everybody else, um, and like forget about it. You bring. I mean, I don't think Ronaldo's contract's up anytime soon. Would be from uh, a loan in season trade for people that don't know how FIFA works. Uh, like an in season trade type deal you could do for sure. His current contract. Um, but fuck it. I mean, I'm not saying they're the two best players ever or the two best currently, but as far as name recognition and I mean those plenty of games sold out, plenty of games doing decent on TV. But yeah, you bring those two and you make it so that like they're on opposing teams that at least occasionally have to play each other, and then like try to play it off like it wasn't a foregone conclusion that they were going to end up playing in the playoffs, even if they were on a team that had 10 players that were better qualified for making a Special Olympics squad than they were of a professional football team. I just, yeah. So like, be like, no. Our league is great. It's like really we got a lot of diversity, and it's great. We got a lot of great players, but but these guys, they really, complemented by the great other players on their squad, they managed to somehow fight each other in the I don't even know what the fucking championship is called. Chicago won like the first 3 years. Okay, I gave it away. I'm from Chicago. Chicago won it like the first 3 years, and then I stopped caring. Same thing happened for me, not for the league, but for me, with whatever the fuck the affiliates hockey leagues thing is called. Is I was gonna say Calder, and then I feel like Calder is actually one of the NHL things. They get so many names for stuff. I fucking forget what's what. But whatever the cup is that you win, I thought it was Calder. Whatever the cup is that you win for the AHL championship, whatever the fuck, like the Chicago Wolves won it like 3 years out of the first like 4 or 5 that I was paying attention to that. Clearly before I was as well versed in Blackhawks lore as I should have been, I guess you could say, but we had really terrible ownership and blackouts for 30 years and stuff like that that made it where it was like, all right, like I'll go to a game, but like that's gonna be it for me, and I'm not paying. So, and like Wolves tickets when not on sale, and like, like prime real estate right on the ice, like $7 per. And I'm not dating myself by saying that either. Like that was the case for me at that time. They're probably like 3 times as much now, but I'm not like this was back in 1910. Like no, this was like somewhat recently. That's how much they cost. That's how fucking cheap they were. And you could just like you could, if you were like a student or whatever, you could just like wait for student night and you get to like basically go for free. They sold packs of like, for groups, they sold packs of, it had to have at least been 10, but for some reason I have the number 30 in my head, and so you could basically like buy out sections for like 10 a piece for like the hottest games that were like supposed to have already been sold out. And I never really figured out like what happened to the people that actually had those seats, or if like the Wolves organization like came to them like, okay, so here's the deal, you spent $65 for your season tickets, all in for the whole year. We'll give you 10 for each of your seats for tonight's game. Like, all right, yeah, I'll do that. Like, I don't know, I have no idea. But yeah, soon after being like, oh, it's awesome, they won 3 out of like 5 years or whatever, and I was like, wait, hold on, why aren't any of these players winding up on the Blackhawks team? Some did, but most did not, and that was probably something to do with the fact that they are actually, at the time, the affiliate for the St. Louis Blues. And the Blackhawks affiliate was also in the state of Illinois, and not super far from Chicago. That was the Rockford Ice Hogs, where the last player that was talked about with any, I wouldn't call it reverence, but any level of like, oh, that's cool, like he played there like earlier this year or end of last year, and now he's like starting in a big game tonight, which you pretty much only ever say about top line guys or tenders, is Scott Darling, who I don't know if he's back on the sauce or just doing other forms of being a shitty goaltender in Carolina, but he's gone back to being terrible, and we don't have much better with Crawford and anybody else that's here. We need an actual goaltender. I don't know if Eddie Belfour is willing to come out of retirement, assuming he's not dead. That would be a benefit. Crow, as would-be fans here love to refer to Chris as. but hit too many times in the head clearly, and doesn't know where he is, and needs to stop getting into nets. Sad as that is. And I would recommend a certain organization for him to become a part of as soon as he leaves the true NHL. But I'm not even going to say it on this broadcast that has no one currently in here and is going to have up to probably a max of 2 people watching later, because yeah, because it doesn't relationships between that organization and the league are we won't even say strained, worse than strained, very very bad. So anyways, this card, I think I was saying, right, I would take in a second for free, and I'd find a spot, but I mean, if I'm playing a normal game of assuming he's not going to be on D because he can't stand up long enough to do so, he's not hitting anybody. Not that I have to have that on D, but if he's going to get back there, you don't want him to just be standing in space, especially for me as an offline versus player. It does nothing for me to put. I could put all 5 of my players on like a mostly straight but staggered enough line between the player with the puck and my tendy, and do that in a magical way that doesn't create any form of a screen on the shot whatsoever. And it doesn't even have to be a shot. It could just be a pass as well. Either of those 2 things, none of my players will do anything. And yet you just take one of the computer's players who has a rating of like 78, and you're playing on, I guess maybe pro and up. Pro's not as shitty as often. Rookie and semi-pro are, it's like you're already gonna win anyways, so like the little shit doesn't matter as much. Even when you're terrible, like I am with a terrible team like mine is. But yeah, pro and up for sure. Anything above pro, yeah, just like you just have one shitty player between you and that, and like and they just do like magic shit with their stick, which sounds like sexual. It wasn't intended to be, but like they're like you could be like they could be on the left dot, and you could be shooting from the right dot, and like they could get there with their stick only, but like not deflect it in a way that fucks up their tender being able to, I don't know why I keep saying tender, just say tendy or goaltender. So okay, so tendy, so not fucking up like their goaltender's ability to get eyes on the puck and play it. Like it'll be like a deflection that like either just sticks to their tape where they suddenly have possession even though they're not even on that side of the ice, or like it'll deflect and it'll do something else spectacularly great for them that goes nowhere near their net. Like maybe goes behind their net, but only if they also have another guy who, like out of nowhere, like opts to like just suddenly start playing like down there, even though like there'd be no reason for him to do so, and like there's no settings in the game that you can do as a human player to tell your CPU players to do it. And you can also try to control your player on defense to go and try to do that, and it still wouldn't matter because when you do it, the puck would just go right past you. But their guy would do it, and then he'd get back there, and now he's got possession of the puck, and now they can get on like a breakout or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Anyways, this card's fine. I just earlier in this season, I might have thought to put him on D with the heavy shot, but he's got the accuracy too, and they're all exactly even. And the speed, oh, he's got 98 acceleration. Somehow I missed that, and agility as well. But the speed is 99, so speed's there, shot's there. So it's -1. I don't what I don't know if there's got to be other 99s besides the gold one, but like the gold one is I isn't it +5 in 5 categories and 99 across the board, and I'm one of well, a smart player, so I know that like not all those underlying stats are like matter, and in some cases would be it's like aggression or discipline or fighting skill or durability or poise or balance or endurance. You sometimes don't. Well, no, endurance I want 99s on all those, but a lot of the rest of those you don't necessarily want 99, but like I would take it if you're gonna give it to me. But yeah, this is a good card. So I would take it for free, but I would probably, yeah. This one's 99 on everything except for wrist shot power. Comes with burner that he clearly doesn't need. Comes with PP that he would actually benefit slightly from. I don't know, maybe his other stats should have been better, I guess. Some more fine shooting and clutch player, and breakout boss. So doesn't do anything for me personally on synergies, but I wouldn't really care. The card is exactly what I'm looking for. It's basically perfect. His natural position is right winger and he shoots right. So again, it would be whether I'd either be looking for standard, in which case he'd play on the right side, and he'd probably be. I mean, that wrist shot power not being 99. Does fine shooting give him a +2 on wrist shot power? If so, and that's activated, and you only need 4 on that for that to get activated. So if I had this card and the Gretzky card, I believe that means it would be activated, and I think that means his shot would be 99 across the board. I would, if I was going standard, he'd be on the right side, and he would maybe be a first liner, possibly second, probably not lower than that, and inverted basically the same deal. Over there on the left as opposed to right, and in an inversion game, despite the fact that he can definitely play with those stats, he could definitely play on D with no problem. But he's, again, it's not a pure and standard 99 on both shot powers, which would be a slight concern for me, because I could play a base alumni Geoffrian that is. So it's like, what the fuck? Not that I mean, I wouldn't do that. Or maybe I'm thinking of Conacher. I don't know. One of the two. I know Boom Boom obviously had a big shot, but now that I think about it, I think that was more like just slap shot. But either way, yeah, I think that weirdly for me, this is like pure YouTubers, game changers over here on EA would call this. We're getting into the meta. It's not meta. First off, learn fucking anything about game theory because you're fucking clueless, and then understand that what you're saying is colloquially referred to online by people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about as meta. It's not meta at all. So, without their interpretation of what the meta is, without getting too much into that, inverted, weirdly, I think I'd be more apt to have him be my frontline left winger, more so than second line. Whereas if I was playing standard, he'd find his way onto the second line on the right side more often, all else being equal, which is an actual term, as opposed to meta, which means something, but not what people say it means. And he can almost, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but he can almost take fucking face-offs. So, I mean, it'd be just one more reason why I think that I would probably be looking for him with that 99 endurance to be playing on a fair amount of special teams lines as well. um, especially not with the lower discipline and fighting skill. Despite the high aggression, and a pretty good durability too, I wouldn't really be too concerned about um, him jumping into fights on without me wanting that to happen. And I don't know why I would want to take one of my best players out of the game for 5 minutes. So yeah, I would look for him on more special team stuff, and I would be okay with that happening in a spot where he ends up having to take a face off. He could do so at a minimum of 92 with this card. And what people are probably trying to get like close to 500 for this. No results. Oh, because he's a choice. He's a choice one, right? So yeah, no one's choosing his King's card. Probably Oilers first. There's your 99, by the way. Yeah, 99s across the board. A +4s, and they weren't all team-based synergies, which is whatever. But you got for the boys and the beauty +4 out of 10 to start the season with. If you started with this card, I get it that it's not as good as the Lemieux in almost everyone's opinion, but I actually like all the synergies, and I don't understand how you could really be disappointed in anything being 99 again, except for the fact that like maybe he would get tossed into more fights than you would want, but I haven't found that. I have this card, or did I get to choose? Oh no, I don't. That's the 96. I don't know why I would have thought that would have been in the top 8 of Oilers all time. Anyways, back to what we were going for here. Curry, yeah, same synergies, which makes sense. I mean, you're just choosing the team. All the rest of the stuff the same. All we're really checking on is if people. I already clicked X. What the fuck? Anybody selling this one? No? Yeah. 500. But you're not going to get it, most likely, if somebody's paying attention in the next 7 hours, because they can max out at 440 and minimum 350. I don't think I'd pay 350 for this. I don't think I would. But like right now I'd pay 2, which means like I don't know, I could maybe be talked into like 250 or something like that later. But so there we go. So there's the Curry. Called it. And it's basically 500k. Still no adjustments on the coins. Okay, so that was yesterday. Those are those cards. There's Crow for 96. Eichel and Zetterberg. Eichel getting another 99. I mean, it's just like there's already enough of them. Zetterberg's got a few 99s as well. Krupp getting his probably highest, I would assume, 97, and 97 for Bobby Ryan. And it just goes down from there. And I'm not really a fan of any of the players or their cards. And I think these 2 were new for it's weird the way to list this. These are the upgrade process legend upgrade sets, adding LaFontaine and the Roadrunner, one of which I have. But I think 92s. Let's go ahead and check those out. I think that yeah. So LaFontaine, and yeah, they both require 7. 7 of the draft collectibles, which are still trying to be sold for about 40, which is stupid. So yeah. So that's 320 or less. So say like 300, costs about 300k to turn in this case a 92 into a 99, and LaFontaine, was he 92 as well? Yeah. Totally different cards. Yeah, it's just like I just don't want that card. I'm a fan of the synergies, but they're plus ones. You know what I mean? It's like at this point, who cares, man? It's like you either have that or you don't. At least with this one, when you search the auction, it's not like there's a bunch of different teams that he could possibly be on. So 75, it looks like what they're trying to sell that for. Man, there are people that paid 10x that previously, and then there were other people who paid like 25% of that right before all this stuff was announced. And those are shady fucks who either got really lucky, supposedly, on stuff, or they knew what was coming. So supposedly I'm near, what doesn't tell me anymore, that I'm near my inbox limit. And I also don't have any active auctions. So nothing sold is what you're telling me. See, if it would sell for $9.99, I'd get exactly one less on my coins, which is ultimately what I want. Okay, let's just go ahead and list them all. And 8 more to go. Plenty of spots. Well, supposedly plenty of spots, because I don't have any active ones. I don't know what their intention is and what to do with the inbox when I don't have space there. I know I made a little bit of space, but I forget what else I was going to use to make space. I guess I can pull out the loner alumni that I have no use for, and some of which either aren't even part of the trade-in, the loan trade-in process, or they are, but they're part of it with like Moog or Sakic, which like went away for me for some reason. I mean, I know I used them, but like I can show you, I've got other former loaner cards that pardon me. I got former loaner cards that are expired that just show up as expired in my collection. So I don't know what the big deal is. So even if those don't sell, that's 88. I don't know if it said it was approaching the limit when it said it was at 80. But fuck it, let's go ahead and do this now, I guess. Not that it's not gonna matter. But yeah, so we got loans, and then we got like the regular ones. So I guess I'll just do the loan ones, because I mean, an 88 McCarty is gonna be a while until he pops up in a gold rare reroll. So I'm only taking off 3 items doing this. Whatever. Better than nothing, I guess. 75 supposedly. Yeah, and that's that. They see that 97 Nolan is what you need to trade into the 99. I could go to the set to show you, but it's not necessary. I did a whole thing 2 days ago on that. I think it was on that Sidney Crosby card, and I was clearly something fucked up on it. I could go back over to the Penguins collection and see if there's been any change made to it, but you know, it's like whatever. Don't really care. So we're gonna play a game. Yeah, I don't have a choice because I gotta complete this one first. But this is not exact. I've lost this one twice already, I think. I'm not setting my lineup. It's auto set. It's part of the reason why it's bad. But yeah, I've played this game once for sure. I think twice, and I haven't gotten any of those stars. It's just it's not good. So having a delay because I'm technically streaming, even though there's no one in the room. Not that that should really impact your ping rate or anything like that, but probably at least after a period or maybe after two, I'll decide which one of the three I'm most likely to have a shot at getting. What is the more than the shots? Okay. So what I've found, because the game cheats, what I've found is even at the level of pro, which is what this difficulty is that if you're required to get even to win just only 3 more face-offs than your opponent, you're not going to, even though that is a 99, and I lose that, of course. That is a 99, not Canucks. Jesus, move. Why don't you get even further out of your fucking net, bro? I can't control my guys at all. And then he tries to do a juke. That was offside, but okay. So that Messier is not Canucks. That is the Rangers Messier. He's 99s basically across the board. I've wasted all my yeah, saw that coming. I was like, I knew as soon as they put Honka on the ground as opposed to coming at him, that meant that meant a sweet pass on the dish was coming. I just couldn't switch quick enough because I had already wasted 3 out of the other 4 guys trying to knock people off the ice. So win the game is going to be a little bit more difficult to do. This is 99 Makita as well. Also not capable of winning a faceoff. I need to fix this. I can't play with Reeves, dude. And then Camilleri can't even shoot. Makita was at least able to shoot, but then... Oh, that counts as a shot? Hold on a second. I don't even know what the numbers were before, but... Yeah, I think that may have counted as a shot. I had 1 for sure. I don't know if I had 2. Shit. And I'm doing this with Reeves. It's a good idea. What are you doing? I played that perfectly. He just like kept on his... Jesus Christ, that should have gone in. Yikes. Reeves has like 0 reaction time. Let's make a run with Doughty. Let's make a run with base gold rare Doughty. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I had no real. I should have just shot. It counted as a shot. Oh, Jesus. And now I gotta get that 1 back. Now it's 2 back. Seriously, Reeves, what are you doing, dude? That should not have counted as a shot, and we're not going to get another one off. He is so bad. I'm like, what? I think he's like a 90, it's like a 91 or a 92 overall. Big body, supposedly good underlying stats. Just terrible. This front line's good though. Okay, so I knew how to get the face off that time. But it's shitty that I got to do the thing. Come on. There you go. Look at that. 99s on Messier. He doesn't have 99. He's got 97 for checking. So like, what's the fourth one? I don't give a shit about the other three at all. So I sometimes forget. But that's the one of the four that I care the least about. I didn't press it quick enough. I forgot. God damn it.
Another save. Amazing reflexes on that second chance. Presses that attack. They're getting ready to strike.
Moog is like trying. It's fucked up. He's like trying to get into the play to get a block, and he's, oh god, come on, man. That's why I got to go inversion a lot of times. Yeah, dude misses by a lot, and Moog still like has like a whiff block. That was fucking weird. No. The much better free card, thank you. Okay, hold on. Jesus, I need 41 seconds. And I'm down 3 shots. Well, okay, so I guess I could work on winning. Maybe see if I can do anything on TOA. What are you doing, dude? Don't make me press L2. I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. You cunts. They both blocked me off from that. That's bullshit. No, I banked that. I didn't go directly into the guy in front of me. Fuck you. Now you get a shot off. Such bullshit. This is only pro, and that's not lag. I can definitely feel the difference in when the lag is real, as they say, and when it's hardcore. That wasn't lag that fucked that up. It might have had a slight impact, but not enough of one. Fuck is that?
Maybe they'll say, who's going to get me the OT winner?
That was pretty nifty. Which one of my players could do that? Yeesh.
The Oil Kings continue to probe up the wing. Nicely received at the point. Side to side they go, trying to generate some.
Stay up. Oh, you fucking idiots. God damn it. Again, like, I don't know why you can't control your players. They're like, yeah, here you go. The red dot, you have, I forgot to press the button. God damn it. Get it, Stan. Like, yeah, you have control over the player, but for the first half of that control, we're gonna force the player to take the puck out of the zone and then back in, as if that makes any fucking sense. I don't think I've ever, and it goes to Reeves too. It's like, what? Okay, are we anywhere close on this? 20. If we go to OT, maybe. Man, Base Dowdy is good at ragging. I shouldn't say that because then he's gonna give one up on a breakaway here in a second. How we doing now? Got it. Got him, coach. So we got 1 of the 3. How we doing on shots? Not good. All right, let's move on.
Gives it to the point. Back and forth they go between
get some hopefully real players out there. I don't really know what that would be in this lineup. I think maybe it's just first. I'm okay with this. I mean, Kane's great, Granlund's terrible, and Sakic is good. Really well done, McInnes. And that's Legend McInnes. That's a sweet, sweet card. Oh. Tried the Superstar forced bank off the left, which you won't be able to do a month from now in NHL20.
Centermen practice this so many times at the end of their game day workouts. And here comes the biggest one, perhaps, of the whole season. The Coyotes with possession in the defensive zone. And he dumps it in. Chipped off the boards and ahead. That's somebody that's been around. He took a quick look up the middle of the ice.
Oh, really? I tried.
You cannot have given more than these players have, and yet they will be tested for at least one more shift before we have a final score.
I disagree with the first part of that sentiment. You definitely could have gotten a lot more than they gave on both sides, but they will be tested in OT. Yeah, that was a mid swig of Gatorade that I just gave there. I probably should have been paying a better attention to the shots because we are even. Oh, I need 5. I always think it's 3. Yeah, I'm not gonna suddenly get 50% more shots in OT than I did in regulation. My OTs, especially with this setup, usually end pretty quickly. So it's going to be them. It's going to be OEL. No, he's giving it to Keller this time. No, he's going to take it back himself.
Oh, broke it up. The Oil Kings controlling play now in their own end. He gains the zone. Shoots one.
Oh, come on, Lano. That's what you're there for, bro. I specifically selected you and kept pounding shots so that you would do it.
Looks ahead to start something. Looking from the corner.
I actually did. Fuck me. That was my bad. He was never open. I wasn't trying to do that, but the thing I was trying to do didn't get open either, so it looked like I was trying to just get the offside shot.
The shooter thought he had a chance, but the goaltender robs him. What a stop. Strong wrist shot.
Yep.
Has that one at holds.
Wait, so did they got a shot off too, right? They both got 2 each? Okay. Gonna be tough, especially moving into the later lines, for me to get shots off and get 5 off and not have that be the end of the game. There's 2 though, or 3. Even that didn't go in? Are you fucking kidding me? And now they get a breakaway? Now if I can help, well, come on.
Terrific interception. Goes to the backhand.
No I didn't, but if you count that as a shot, that's fine with me.
Lets it go. Oh, what a break. That shot hit somebody.
No!
Lets it go.
Oh my god, I knew it. Oh god, that sucks. That sucks so hardcore.
When it gets to OT, it seems like the smallest thing can happen. And then
Was that OEL that got me?
in this case tonight, it went right. Little extra plays that make all.
Oh, as soon as I went slightly left, I was like, fuck. There's no way that base Moog is going to be able to gonna take that down appropriately. Oh god. Yeah, celebrate, enjoy. You fucks. Can't win a single game in real life, but whatever.
Some nights are special in memory. This one was an outstanding game.
Yeah, see, I saw that one was going to be a goal too, and you look at it in the replay, it's like, that shouldn't have been a goal. I mean, part of that learning curve is maybe don't try to play defense with just Stan Mikita. There's my 1 minute of TOA. How far were we on shots? So I was... Oh, that sucks. I had it. I was up 5 before that last one. Obviously the last one being the one that went in and won the game for them. From grab ass. That sucks. Oh well. I think... was this the one that's for the collectible? Of which I have 1 and need like 30. Yeah, it's a collectible. Next one's a useless gold pack, and that's one I'm not getting very easily. See, the problem is all the coins, they're even. They're all 100. So it's like, doesn't really help me much. So maybe I can get a gold pack and get a sweet. Oh, they're untradeable. So what the fuck? It's like I can't even do that. I can't even. Now I will. What I was gonna say is I'd get a head coach and I could quick sell it for 200 coins. Or is it 400? I think it's 200. It's been a minute since I've been able to do that because I've been getting these things instead, which are untradeable, which I can't do anything with. Like even my current head coach who I have, who's clearly gold and giving me +3 that I don't remember if I don't think I need all 3, but it's like might as well use it as opposed to a silver or bronze version of the same one or whatever. Yeah, I have 3 different untradeable versions of that. There's nothing you can do with these things. So I only broadcast that just so that I could get rid of the 666 on the coins. I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. Because it's unlikely that somebody's going to buy a contract for 999 coins. And getting the collectible wouldn't have done anything for me at all. Yeah. So I guess we're just going to end this. I'm going to switch to the other thing so I know how long I've been talking for. Feels like 2 hours. That's why it feels like 2 hours. Alright, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed something or whatever. I don't fucking care.